Well, I finished up my morning at the barn. I was going to do a video this morning, but I just wasn't feeling it. I don't like doing videos unless I'm in an optimistic, upbeat mood. And just one of those weeks where things just didn't start the way we wanted. And it is what it is. Now, I wanted to talk about the races last night. Obviously, we have a ton of racing and a lot of things to be very optimistic about moving forward. We have Blanton's Blue, who's going to make his first start in New York. Races for $70,000 or $80,000, I think, on Thursday, and is coming in really well. And then we again back to Kentucky on Sunday with Pickpocket and Arson Militant. Bought our first horse of the summer, I think, so to speak. Yesterday, we bought a three-year-old Better's Delight brother to buy the missile. Now it sounds great. You know what he is? He's a 3-year-old maiden that shows 2 miles and 52. In 2 of his 6 lifetime starts. That's what he is. Doesn't matter. You know, obviously somebody sunk a lot of money into this horse, buying him, and as per the horse racing industry, sometimes it's not cool. It can be really tough. We've been through that and many fronts, as does every other stable face the same hurdles we do. So a really expensive colt he was. $275,000 was the ticket for him at the sale. Not to mention all the training and staking and so on and so forth. And what you have is a horse that has brought a lot of sorrow to the seller, to one person, and hopefully can bring some joy to us. But what we need him to be is not anywhere near what they needed or wanted him to be, and that also is part of horse racing, right? I guess it falls under one man's trash is another man's treasure type thing. What we need him for is not what they wanted him for. So hopefully he'll do some good. I know a lot of people wondering. Man, I'll tell you what, you guys are the best clients for a number of reasons. I really thought, you know, here's a horse, we bought him out of the blue for $64,500 US. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. How long will it take to sell this horse out? You know, I have to send the money along for him. And I told everybody in a video, if I don't have him sold by tomorrow morning, late morning, I'm going to start making phone calls, get it all done, taken care of, and the money sent out. Oh my God. The horse was sold out in like 30 minutes. You all still surprise me sometimes. And not that I don't like the horse. I thought the horse was worth the money. I had told you in a video that from time to time, when we buy a horse, even when I bought Hunted House, who's selling today, but even when I bought him, I'm like, geez, that's top of the fair market chain from where I sit. And you know, you get a little scratchy when you're hitting send and when you're hitting bid and bid. But I still like the price for him, and I do love the price for this colt. It's a lot of money, but the upside is immense. And my take on a horse like him is he's got speed. He gets a little bumpy from what I can see from time to time. So there's stuff to work with mechanically. In regards to Steel Cowboy. Will that breeding bubble up at some point? That would be cool if it did. And if it didn't, he still fits in numbers 1, numbers 2, numbers 3. All those non-winners are so much money. You know, he'll chip away as he goes along. We didn't buy him to chip away. We bought him to hopefully transform him. My plan is simple. Get him down to Oak Grove for the next 3 weeks. Potentially win. Be nice to win a couple of races with him, get him feeling good, and then bring him back and spark him back up. What I had made reference to, maybe a little bit of a factory reset on Steel Cowboy. Now, he is going to the veterinarian tomorrow morning. We have an appointment for him right away. We do have to draw papers on him right away and make sure that he's able to ship. So that's the plan with Steel Cowboy moving forward. We did have some horses race yesterday. Now, again, ups and downs yesterday, right? Absolute euphoria on the weekend. Looked fantastic, but what do we do next with her? I know she's entered for Thursday. We'll see if she gets in to go. But yesterday, how did it go? Took a dive off Dipper, raced okay, and that's kind of where he's been, kind of 3rd, 4th, 5th best in that class since he won it on the first day that we were there. So it's only going to get tougher from here on in, so I'm going to spend the next 3 weeks looking for a spot for him for the remainder of the summer. And obviously, I'm sure Jane will send me a message at some point saying, Jane and Ben and John are saying, hey, maybe rest him for a few weeks or a month and try to get him ready for the fall. And that's a fair assessment of the situation also. So we'll see how that plays out. Then we had Smoking Hot Irish Girl. A number of people asked what happened to her. I thought maybe she just overtrotted herself, but she lost a shoe. For many of you that were watching the simulcast before the race, you know that she went back to the paddock to get a shoe repair and did not get repaired very well by the looks of things. Same shoe came off halfway down the backstretch, they said, and Billy had lost her. She made a break. We had 2 horses racing in Georgia, and we had Stay Close coming off of a bout of tying up. So he wasn't going to be on the top of his game. He'd be good, I thought, but not, 105% good. And that's kind of how he raced. He looked good, trotted a mile in 57 apiece, 58, but looked like he had a little bit of pop on the end of it. And good news also is that, now he fits at horses that race for a purse of less than whatever. He fits that class now, so he can go into there. And Renegade Gypsy was a letdown, man. I keep telling everybody it's going to take time. And, I get messages from people saying all the time, what is wrong with Renegade Gypsy? Well, guys, he's a horse. And sometimes the horses don't race the way you want them to. And that is the frustrating part of horse racing. When they're racing great, like him and Resolute Bay were at the end of their 3-year-old season, it is awesome. Everybody's high-fiving one another. The horses are great. They don't always stay that way. And that's not to say that Renegade Gypsy won't come back around. I have every faith that he will. But he is not good right now. And there's nothing really there. That found a little bit right hind ankle, but no, you got to watch it. It might be a line, it might be a chip, it might be a this. No, just minor maintenance on it. So Mario, I saw him today, and he said, he just feels terrible trotting. I said, well, in cases like this, 1, he's an athlete, and 2, you got to forget what he was. Strip him down. So rather than put the flip-flops on him, let's pull those flip-flops off, have the blacksmith take a real good look at him, and add a little weight to him. I know both Mario maybe and a couple other people had some reservations about egg bars on him behind, but we do want to keep him sound. There is a flashpoint. From what the vet can find, front feet, which always were his thing, and his right hind ankle. So whatever's going on with the ankle, a little bruise or something, that's fine. We got to protect that also. So I'm not in a big hurry yet. And as I'm talking to Mario, we're talking it out. What he saw from the horse last night. What do you think? Where do you think we should go? I mean, any thoughts? And I said, yeah, just strip him down. Forget that it's Renegade Gypsy that you know so well. Forget it. He's a big, black, good-looking horse. It's going to need a little time, a little work, and we'll get him back on track. But he is an athlete. My take on it is very simple. He needs to work harder, not easier. No more days off, 2 days off after the race and field time. You want to put him in the field, fine. When he comes in, put the harness on him and jog him. He's an athlete, and he needs to work. So, and the one thing about if that right hind ankle is bothering him and you pour more work to him, it's going to bother him a little bit more, and then you're going to be forced to address it in a different way. But when you put a little bit more work into him also, it might go away as he works on it a little bit harder. So my personal take on Renegade Gypsy, strip him down, rip the shoes off him, see what the blacksmith thinks of his front feet. We already know what the vet thinks. Nothing has changed over the last 3-4 weeks with Renegade Gypsy. It just hasn't been what I would say is stabilized, right? It's still in flux. He was okay when he won, but still didn't look powerful like he'd looked before. He hasn't really looked 105% since he came back. So how do we get him going in the right direction? Pretty simple. Strip him down, work him harder, and see how he feels after that. And that's my take on Renegade Gypsy, and quite frankly, my take on any of the horses. It's not like this horse is at the end of a season where he just could be tired. He's not tired. He's not tired. Yeah, his right hind ankle's bothering him a bit. He's sulking a little bit. That's fine. Pour some more work to him. Strip him down. Let's start over and see what we have with Renegade Gypsy. That's my 2 cents, and I think that's probably where we're headed with him in the next week or so. He probably won't race this week coming up. But again, I mean, that'll be up to Mario, but I doubt you'll see him Indigo this week. We're going to have to get him in a place where we're a little more comfortable with him. So Stay Close was good. Looks like he's coming back into form. Renegade Gypsy kind of in limbo. I don't think he's got worse He certainly hasn't got better. He hasn't got worse. So coming back into form, let's get him back into form and get him moving. And then Coupe de Ville was the last one of the night. You know, that's a tough division, much like What a Mission has to race against. And Smoking Hot Irish Girl, you're going to find saltier divisions sometimes, and that certainly was one. You know, she gets into her knee a little bit. As I said to Jason, she's about 3-4 weeks from doing vet work also. Might want to have Dr. Latessa have a little look-see as we move into, not this week, but the week after with Renegade, or with Coupe de Ville. So a little up and down, right? I was happy with Smoking Irish Girl. Not much you can do when you lose a shoe. It looked like she was trotting well and was going to be well on her way to going the fastest mile of her life before she made that break. So that's a bonus, right? Stay Close was good, and Coupe de Ville was pretty good. You know, she's hammering away in that class and still a fierce competitor in that class, and one of the horses you have to watch for. Unfortunately, she ran into two that are just like her last night. And when it came to the other horses, Dipper, just tough racing in that class for him. And for Gypsy, we just got to get him back on track. That's it. So that was Sunday in a nutshell. Now we're moving into Monday. We got a ton of horses racing today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Oh, I was so happy too. You know, just yesterday was such a roller coaster for me personally to see Ollie win that tournament. Now, he didn't play his best baseball, right? But he played good. His team won, and they blew them out in the final and looked really good doing it. Now, Ollie was the one, and I like that. I like that he was the one that said it too, because I don't want to ever put Ollie in a position where, you know, maybe I'm tiring him out. He came to me last night and he said, "Hey, I know that school's not over here for a couple of weeks, but I know that the Ohio team is playing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do you think I could go over?" I love that. I said, you know what, bud? Your mom's not going to be very happy about it, so let me start with your teacher first. So I emailed his teacher, and I didn't think she'd get back to me today, but very nice lady. She got back to me right away. I said, ma'am, Ollie's on a team in Ohio, and he's looking to play, and you know, it's a lot of baseball between now and the end of the season. And he was looking to play baseball this week. And I know that school's not over. And if his workload is heavy right now because you're trying to get the kids polished off, then please disregard this email. But he had asked if he could come over Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to play baseball. So I guess I'm requesting that my son skip school for 3 days, but only if it's not really going to be a big deal. And she got back to me right away, which I thought was really, really cool. And she said, don't worry about it, Mr. McDonald. You know, Ollie's end of the year trip is on Tuesday. And he can go on his trip, and then you guys can go on a trip, and he can go over and play baseball. It won't be a problem at all. If there's any pertinent work to do, I'll just send it home with him, and he can do it when he's away, which I thought was really nice. Because then I got to show my wife that email, and she was like, first, I could see the anger. and then she was like, okay, fine. You can take them with you. So Ollie and I will head over at 6 a.m. On Wednesday morning. I want to do a little work with Crantini on Wednesday. For those of you who don't know, he made a break in the Meadowlands the other day, and Megan was obviously frustrated and angry. And I said, you know what, relax. Not the end of the world. I said, send him back to Ohio. I'll qualify him with the Hobbles on Thursday. We'll see how he is on Thursday. So Crantini has made his way back to, because he's never been there before, to Northfield Park. I'll work with him Wednesday afternoon a little bit, late morning a little bit, and then qualify him on Thursday. We have some horses just to get ready for stakes, and then just get some popcorn, right? I want to sit in. I want to see Blanton's Blue go Thursday night. Here's a horse that was so bad training down. It's so good right now. Really, really good right now, and I can't wait to see him race. And then I gotta make my plans for Kentucky, but for right now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a little work in Ohio. Gotta drive a horse or two in Pennsylvania, come back, watch Ollie play baseball, rinse and repeat on Friday, and then probably come back home. We have some babies that have to train at Mohawk. We have some qualifiers to do. I may have to stay there and go with Kings County. I don't know yet. So that part of the week is a little still in flux, but most definitely Sunday I will be in Kentucky for Oak Grove. Now Monday I might stay over. I might, if Steel Cowboy seems good, gets clearance from the vet and seems really good, we'll train him up here probably Thursday, maybe send him to Kentucky Friday, and he'll race on Monday. That's the plan, briefly, for him right now. That may change. It's a very, very fluid situation with him. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. Tons going on this week. Lots of racing today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, really for the rest of the summer. So it's all started now. Good luck to everybody with Blanton's Blue and Peckpocket, Militant, and Arson this week. Born to Dance. We have 10 horses to race at Northfield Park on Wednesday. That should be a wonderful night for the stable. So with that, take care. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you have a good start to the week, and I'll talk to you all very soon.